They were playing golf, first time in 10 days because of all the heat.
We have the Delta breeze blowing today, and that's really excellent for Sacramento and the whole valley.
And that Delta breeze sure is kicking in, and people are feeling it this weekend. Good evening. You're watching the news at 5 on the ABC 10 Information Network. I'm Giacomo, Luca. Man, that weather is significantly better compared to last week, but the hotter temperatures are still causing some concerns for our rivers. The snow melts, making them run fast and cold. Take a look at this video we just received from the CHP. This is what the water looks like up in the Sierra near Emerald Pools in Nevada County. Crews rescued this man from a small rock in the middle of the river, just above a 40 to 50 foot waterfall. That man was swept down white water for about 1 mile until he was able to grab a hold of a rock. Remarkably, he only had some minor scratches. Now, the CHP is reminding us that rescue crews are really busy, especially this time of year. The helicopter used in this rescue had just rescued another fallen climber. And weather is absolutely gorgeous compared to just a couple days ago. Triple digits, Harry. Crazy.
Yeah, big change, and it's about time the temperatures cooled off. The highs today were in the 80s in Sacramento and 90s in the San Joaquin Valley. They were in the 100s a short time ago. Several degrees cooler than they have been, and that is welcome change. 83 in Sacramento, and tomorrow we're going to have a high temperature of about 87 to 88 degrees. Great weather ahead. Giacomo?
Awesome. Thank you very much, Harry. And other top stories we're following tonight. A 21-year-old Sacramento man's been arrested, accused of stabbing his mother's longtime live-in boyfriend, who later died in the hospital. Police says the 21-year-old Jacob Senabria, he'd been living in the same home as his mom's boyfriend. The stabbing happened late last night in the Foothill Farms area on Woodrick Way. Senabria was arrested for murder and will be arraigned on Tuesday. Now, those responsible for burning a Quran remains a mystery after the religious text was found outside an Islamic center in South Sacramento. Now, that message of hate completely spoiled the last day of Muslims' month of Ramadan for many. The Masjid Al-Noor congregation was just one that was targeted. Their mosque is next door to a Sacramento County Sheriff's Department station. Now, the Quran was found handcuffed to a fence and burned. The pages were stuffed with bacon. The Sacramento's Council on American Islamic Relations say they wanted this photo to be shown.
When any religious text or religious symbolism is attacked, it does hurt and offend Muslims. And we're just trying to send a message to our community just to stay strong, remain positive, and really during these challenging times to just see the support of our fellow Americans has been amazing.
The Council on American Islamic Relations also says that the Islamic Center in Davis was targeted. Someone driving by threw out torn pages of the Quran back in January. Now, the same mosque was vandalized when a woman broke windows and left bacon strips on the front door handles. Now, she received 5 years probation after pleading guilty to a federal hate crime. As Ramadan came to an end last night, today Muslims began a 3-day celebration called Eid al-Fitr. It began with a special early morning prayer in mosques and open air areas, followed by feasts and festivals. The holiday has also been known to be observed with a dinner at the White House, except that's not going to happen this year. President Trump has become the first president to opt out of the celebration, making him one of the first presidents to do that in at least 20 years. The dinner, which has been often attended by prominent members of the U.S. Muslim community, began in 1996 when President Clinton was in office. And instead of hosting a dinner, President Trump and Melania sent a statement reading in part, quote, "Muslims in the United States join those around the world during the holy month of Ramadan to focus on acts of charity and faith. Now, as they commemorate Eid with family and friends, they carry on the tradition of helping neighbors and breaking bread with people from all walks of life." Now, during this holiday, we're reminded of the importance of mercy, compassion, and goodwill. With Muslims around the world, the United States renews our commitment to honor these values. And it continues to begin the big debate in Washington tonight. The Senate's GOP health care bill is sparking protest and concern. Ahead of a possible vote this week, today another Republican came out undecided on the bill, even as the White House tries to push forward. David Wright reports.
As the Senate begins the final push to repeal and replace Obamacare,
I think it's ridiculous to suggest that all these people that have been getting benefited from added Medicare don't need it.
the healthcare debate is taking center stage this weekend. The White House pushing back against criticism that the GOP plan would be bad news for the poor because of deep cuts in Medicaid.
You keep calling them cuts, but we don't see them as cuts.
I respectfully disagree with her analysis. It's hard for me to see the bill passing this week.
The deciding votes on this round come from within the Republican Party. At least 5 GOP senators say they won't support the current bill. Among them, Rand Paul.
They've promised too much. There's no way the Republican bill brings down premiums.
The plan in its entirety will absolutely bring premiums down.
A growing number of GOP senators say they're concerned. Senator Bill Cassidy added his name to that list.
A couple of the things I'm concerned about, but if those can be addressed, I will. And if they can't be addressed, I won't. So right now, I'm undecided.
Not one Democrat supports the bill. This weekend, Senator Bernie Sanders is out campaigning against it, including this rally in Ohio.
This legislation will cause devastating pain to millions of American families.
Ohio's Republican governor agrees.
I don't think the bill's adequate now, and unless it gets fixed, I'm against it.
President Trump conceded to Fox News that getting enough votes will be difficult.
You move it this way, and this group doesn't like it. You move it a little bit over here. You have a very narrow path.
The Congressional Budget Office could have a score on the health care plan as early as tomorrow. So far, there are no public hearings planned on the bill. Now, still ahead on the news at 5, as June comes to a close, so does Pride Month. We're headed to the streets of San Francisco, where one of the biggest celebrations held every year. And stalking on Snapchat, critics are blasting the popular app's newly launched location sharing. That feature over security concerns. You're watching the news at 5 on the ABC 10 Information Network.